As Texas is exiting the recession, has exited the recession, revenues are starting to pick up. The actual revenue stream is going to be greater in 12 and 13 than 10 and 11. However, the substantial difference, again, is the balances. We've begun the biennium we're in with a small surplus, and we're expecting to start next time with a shortfall which, of course, the legislature will be working on.
Mr. Chairman, could I ask him to comment, Senator Whitmire, on the concept of a structural deficit, a relatively new term used around here? The shortfall that you mentioned that we currently face, you applied it to the recession. What elements of it or parts of it would be to a structural deficit? Certainly, as you followed and said that 12 and 13 is even going to be worse. So regardless of the coming out of a recession, I mean, define a structural deficit and what role that plays in what you're describing.
The structural deficit, as I understand it, Senator, would be going back about 5 years into the past, and the structural deficit would be the actions that the legislature took to relieve local property taxes and replace that money substantially with an increase in our business tax. The outcome of that was the business tax did not bring in as much as was expected, and property tax relief cost a little bit more than was expected, thus leaving a gap between the two.
So going forward, how do you get beyond a structural deficit?
Well, going forward, it's still
get beyond it. How do you get to where you don't have a shortfall as we go meet every biennium?
Well, going forward, of course, that still exists. And if the legislature chooses to do so, it can address that, of course, Senator.
But as we talk today, we have
Yes.
structural deficit, and the forecast will have one until we address it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.